The morning sky above Seoul looked normal until it didn't. Kyung-ho Park was drinking his coffee when every screen in the city started showing the same thing. A massive alien ship hung in space like a dark mountain. It was so big that Earth looked like a marble next to it. More ships appeared, dozens of them, then hundreds. They filled the space around Earth like angry storm clouds. Each ship was larger than any city on the planet. Their dark metal surfaces reflected no light, making them look like holes cut into space itself. Kyung-ho dropped his coffee cup. He was admiral of the Earth Defense Force, but right now he felt very small. His phone buzzed with emergency calls. Every world leader was trying to reach him at once. On the largest alien ship, Emperor Vexitar stood 12 feet tall. His body was made of living crystal that changed colors with his mood. Right now, it glowed angry red. He had conquered 400 worlds in his long life. Earth would be number 401. "Send the message," Vexitar told his captain. His voice sounded like breaking glass. Every television, radio, and computer on Earth received the same transmission. The alien emperor's face filled billions of screens. His crystal features looked sharp enough to cut. "People of Earth," Vexitar began. His words were translated into every human language. "I am Emperor Vexitar of the Kalthran Empire. Your planet is now under our control. You have 72 hours to surrender completely. Lay down all weapons. Prepare for new management. Resist, and we will turn your world into ash." The transmission ended. Silence filled the world for exactly 3 seconds. Then chaos began in the emergency meeting room deep under Washington, D.C. President Da-Yoon Kim sat at a large table. Her face was calm, but her hands shook slightly. Around the table sat the most powerful people on Earth. They all looked scared. "How many ships?" President Kim asked. Taemin Lee opened his tablet. He was the head of Earth's intelligence service. 200 large ships. Each one is about 10 miles long. Our computers say each ship could destroy a whole continent. "What? About our military?" asked General Martinez from the United States. "Our biggest warships are like toys compared to theirs," Admiral Kyung-ho Park said. He had flown from Seoul in the fastest jet on Earth. "We have maybe 300 ships total. Most are just patrol boats." President Kim looked around the table. "So we surrender?" "Never," said Dr. Hae-won Choi. She was an older woman with gray hair and bright eyes. Most people at the table didn't know who she was. "We have options they don't know about." "What options?" President Kim asked. Dr. Choi smiled. 50 years ago, we received our first alien radio signals. Not from these Kalthrans, from someone else. Someone far away who was trying to warn us." She pressed a button on her tablet. A holographic image appeared above the table. It showed star maps and strange symbols. The signals contained technical information, blueprints, instructions for building, things we never imagined. "We've been building in secret ever since." "Building what?" Admiral Park asked. "Warships, real warships, hidden in the asteroid belt where no one looks. We call it Project Prometheus." The room went quiet. President Kim stared at Dr. Choi. "How many ships?" 1,000. Each one built with technology 50 years ahead of anything these Kalthrans have seen. General Martinez leaned forward. "Why didn't you tell us?" "Because the fewer people who knew, the safer the secret. We've been preparing for this day for half a century. Every space mission, every satellite launch, every scientific expedition to the asteroids was really about building our hidden fleet." On the alien flagship, Captain Veltak watched Earth through the ship's main viewer. Humans were running around, like insects whose nest had been kicked. Perfect. Fear made surrender easier. "How long before they give up?" Veltak asked his emperor. "Usually takes about 48 hours, Vexitar replied. "First they panic. Then they try to negotiate. Finally, they realize they have no choice. Should we show them our power? Not yet. Let them imagine the worst. Fear is our best weapon." Back on Earth, Dr. Choi was explaining everything. "We built the ships in sections. Asteroids make perfect cover. The aliens probably think we're just mining rocks out there." "What kind of weapons do our ships have?" Admiral Park asked. "Quantum cascade torpedoes. They break apart the crystal structures these aliens use for everything. Their ships, their technology, even their bodies are made of living crystal. These torpedoes will shatter them like glass." And you're sure this will work? We tested it on captured alien technology from crashed ships over the years. Yes, it works. President Kim stood up. How long to get our fleet ready? They're all ready. Ready. Admiral Seung-jun Nam has been commanding the secret fleet for 10 years. Every ship has a full crew. Every weapon is loaded. They're just waiting for orders. Around the world, people watched the alien ships and waited. Some prayed. Some cried. Some gathered with their families. News reporters tried to stay calm while telling everyone that humanity might end in 3 days, but in hidden bases around the world, other people were very busy. Jin-Woo Song checked his spacesuit one more time. He was about to do the most dangerous, acting job in human history. His ship, the Harmony, looked like a simple transport vessel. Inside, it was packed with sensors and recording equipment. Remember, Admiral Park told him over the radio, act scared, act hopeless. Let them think. We're just another weak race begging for mercy. I understand, sir. How scared should I act? Terrified, but not so much that they get suspicious. Min Jung Kwon was on a ship hidden behind Saturn's rings. She was the best engineer humanity had ever produced. Her ship, the Defiance, was the most advanced warship ever built. Its weapons could punch holes through moons. All systems ready, she reported to Admiral Nam. Quantum drives at full power. Cascade torpedoes armed. We can be at Earth in 6 hours. Stay hidden for now, Admiral Nam replied. Let them think they've won before we show them the truth. Bo-Ram Yang was preparing for her own mission. She would go with Jin-Woo Song to meet the aliens. Her job was to look weak and frightened while secretly scanning their technology. She had trained for this moment for 15 years. Are you ready? Jin-Woo asked her. Ready to save the world, she replied with a smile. As the first day ended, the alien ships remained in position around Earth. Emperor Vextar was pleased. The humans were behaving exactly as expected. Their communications were full of panic and despair. Some were already talking about surrender terms. Tomorrow, they'll send negotiators, Veltak predicted. And the day after that, they'll give up completely, Vextar agreed. Another easy conquest. Neither alien realized that humanity had just finished the largest military deception in galactic history. Hidden throughout the solar system, 1,000 advanced warships waited for the signal to strike. The trap was set. The prey had become the predator. Earth's 72 hours of apparent weakness were really 72 hours of final preparation. When the time came, the Kalthran Empire would learn that humans were nothing like the other races they had conquered. The galaxy was about to change forever. The second day began with Jin-Woo Song's ship approaching the massive alien fleet. The Harmony looked tiny next to the Kalthran vessels. It was supposed to look that way. Inside the ship, Jin-Woo checked his equipment one more time. Hidden cameras would record everything. Secret sensors would map the alien ship's weak points. But first, he had to convince them that humanity was helpless. This is Captain Jin-Woo Song of Earth Vessel Harmony, he broadcast on all frequencies. His voice shook with fake fear. I request permission to speak with your commander about surrender. Terms! On the Kalthran flagship, Emperor Vextar laughed. The sound was like crystals breaking. Look how quickly they break. 48 hours and they're already begging. Should we let them aboard? Captain Veltak asked. Yes, let them see our power up close. It will make the final surrender even sweeter. The alien ship's docking bay was enormous. The Harmony could have fit inside it 50 times over. Jin-Woo and Bo-Ram Yang walked down the ramp wearing simple Earth uniforms. They tried to look small and frightened. Bo-Ram's hidden scanners were working perfectly. Every step they took, every wall they passed, every alien they saw was being recorded and analyzed. The data flowed back to Earth through quantum communication links the aliens couldn't detect. Welcome to your new reality, Captain Veltak greeted them. He stood 9 feet tall, his crystal body glowing blue with amusement. I am Captain Veltak. You will tell me about Earth's defenses so we can remove them properly. Jin-Woo's acting was perfect. He stumbled slightly and couldn't meet the alien's eyes. We don't have much to defend with. A few hundred small ships, some missiles. Nothing that could hurt your vessels. Smart humans, Veltak said. You understand your place quickly. While Jin-Woo talked, Bo-Ram pretended to be overwhelmed by the alien ship's size. She gasped and pointed at the massive engines, the huge weapons, the crystal computer systems. Her hidden scanners recorded everything. The quantum cascade torpedoes, back on Earth, had been designed based on guesses about alien technology. Now Bo-Ram was seeing the real thing. The aliens' crystal technology was even more vulnerable than they had hoped. "Your ships are so beautiful," Bo-Ram said in a small, scared voice. "The crystal formations are amazing. How do they grow so large?" Veltak was pleased by the compliment. "Our technology is based on living crystal matrices. They grow and adapt, much better than your crude metals and plastics." Bo-Ram nodded and looked impressed. Inside, she was excited. The quantum torpedoes would work even better than expected. The aliens had built their entire fleet out of the one material that was most vulnerable to humanity's secret weapons. Back on Earth, Admiral Kyung-Ho Park watched the transmission from Jin-Woo's ship. Every word was being recorded. Every image was being analyzed. "They're so confident," President Da-Yoon Kim observed. "They really think we're helpless." "That's exactly what we want them to think," Dr. Hae-Won Choi replied. "Let them get comfortable. Let them think this is easy." Throughout the solar system, the hidden human fleet remained perfectly still. Admiral Seung-Jun Nam commanded from the flagship Defiance, hidden in Saturn's shadow. His captains were experienced fighters, chosen for this mission years ago. "Status report," Admiral Nam requested. Captain Dong-Hyun Lim commanded a destroyer squadron near Jupiter. "All ships ready. Crews at battle stations. We can reach Earth in 4 hours at maximum speed." Captain Woo Jin Hong led the torpedo boats hiding in the asteroid belt. "Quantum cascade torpedoes loaded and ready. We have enough firepower to crack their entire fleet." Commander Eun-jae Shin controlled the fighter wings launched from hidden carriers. "Pilots are ready. We've been practicing this battle for 10 years. Each captain reported the same thing: ready, waiting, eager to spring the trap. On the alien flagship, Emperor Vextar was showing Jin-Woo and Bo-Ram his throne room. The walls were made of living crystal that pulsed with inner light. The throne itself was carved from a single massive gem. "Impressive, isn't it?" Vextar said. "This crystal came from our homeworld. It has conquered 400 planets with me." Jin-Woo looked properly awed. 400 planets? How do you do it?" "Simple. We arrive. We demand surrender. They give up. If they don't—" Vextar gestured to the walls, where images showed planets being destroyed. "We make examples." "Has anyone ever fought back?" Bo-Ram asked quietly. "A few tried. The Zentari had a large fleet. The Mokrani thought their shields were strong. The Pelorians believed their speed would save them." Vexitar's crystal body glowed red with remembered pleasure. "All became dust. All became lessons for the next world." "We don't want to become dust," Jin-Woo said quickly. "Then surrender completely. Give us your leaders. Give us your resources. Give us your obedience. You may keep your lives." While the aliens were busy feeling superior, Earth's hidden preparations continued. Communications Officer Ji-Hoon Bae was coordinating the final details of humanity's surprise attack. "All ships report ready," he told Admiral Park. "Fleet positions confirmed. Target assignments distributed. We're ready to begin on your order." "Not yet," Admiral Park replied. "Let them get more comfortable. Let them think they've already won." The aliens were certainly acting like they had won. Captain Veltak was giving Jin-Woo and Bo-Ram a tour of the ship's weapons. He showed them planet-cracking cannons and continent-melting energy beams. "Each of our ships carries enough firepower to sterilize a world," Veltak bragged. "Your Earth could be lifeless in hours if we chose." "Please don't," Jin-Woo begged. His acting was so good that even Bo-Ram almost believed he was really scared. "That depends entirely on you," Veltak replied. "Surrender completely, and Earth lives. Resist, and Earth burns." Back on Earth, the recordings from Jin-Woo's mission were being analyzed by hundreds of scientists and military experts. The alien ships were powerful, but they had weaknesses. "Their shields are strong but slow to adjust," reported Tactical Officer Soo-Jin Park. "Fast-moving targets can get through. Their weapons are devastating but require time to charge," added Weapons Specialist Yoon Seok Jang. "If we hit them quickly, they can't fire back effectively." Most importantly, Dr. Choi explained, their entire technology is based on crystal matrices. Our quantum torpedoes will propagate through their ships like cracks through glass. One, hit in the right place, could destroy an entire vessel. The plan was elegant in its simplicity. The human fleet would decloak all at once, overwhelming the aliens with surprise. Fast ships would punch through their defenses. Quantum torpedoes would shatter their crystal technology. The aliens' size and power would become weaknesses when their own structure turned against them. As the second day ended, Jin Woo and Bo Ram returned to their ship. They had gathered enough intelligence to guarantee victory. The aliens watched them go, completely confident that Earth would surrender soon. Tomorrow they will make their final choice, Emperor Vextar told his fleet. Surrender or destruction. Either way, we win. The Emperor was wrong. He had no idea that Earth's choice had been made 50 years ago, when the first alien signals reached human receivers. Humanity had chosen to fight. They had chosen to win. And they had spent 5 decades preparing for this moment. The trap was nearly ready to spring. Soon, the hunters would become the hunted. The third day dawned with 1 hour left on the alien ultimatum. Around the world, humans watched their leaders prepare for what everyone thought would be Earth's surrender. They were wrong. President Da-Yun Kim stood in the Global Communications Center. Every screen showed alien ships surrounding Earth like vultures waiting for death. Behind her, Admiral Kyung-ho Park checked his watch. 60 minutes until humanity revealed its greatest secret. Are you ready, Madam President? Admiral Park asked. I've been ready for this my whole life, she replied. Hidden throughout the solar system, 1,000 human warships waited in perfect silence. Their crews had trained for this moment for years. Their weapons were charged, their engines hummed with barely contained power. Admiral Song-Jun Nam stood on the bridge of the Defiance, humanity's most advanced warship. Around him, his officers watched displays showing the alien fleet's positions. Every enemy ship was marked, every weak point was identified. Fleet status? Admiral Nam asked. All ships report ready, replied his communications officer. Quantum, drives at full power, weapons armed. We can be at Earth in 30 minutes. Excellent, wait for the signal. Near Jupiter, Captain Dong-Hyun Lim commanded the destroyer squadron's Sword of Stars. His ships were sleek and fast, built for hit-and-run attacks. Each destroyer carried enough quantum torpedoes to crack open alien dreadnoughts. Time to show these crystals what humans can do, Lim told his crews over the comm. In the asteroid belt, Captain Woo Jin Hong led the torpedo boat squadrons. His smaller ships were invisible to alien sensors, hidden among the rocks and ice. When they struck, it would be like lightning from a clear sky. Remember, Hong broadcast to his captains, we hit hard, we hit fast, and we disappear. Make every shot count. Commander Yoon Jae-shin prepared her fighter wings on hidden carriers. Human fighters were tiny compared to alien ships, but they were fast and deadly. Like wasps attacking eagles, they would swarm the enemy and sting them to death. All pilots to your ships, Shin ordered. Today we protect our home. On the alien flagship, Emperor Vextar was already planning Earth's subjugation. He had divided the planet into resource zones. Asia would provide workers, Africa would supply minerals, Europe would become an administrative center, North America would be strip-mined for useful materials. 1 hour, Captain Veltak reported. Then they surrender or we begin bombardment. They'll surrender, Vextar said confidently. They always do. 400 worlds have taught me that all species break when faced with true power. The Emperor was about to learn that his experience didn't include humans. With 30 minutes left, President Kim began her broadcast to the world. Every human on Earth watched as their leader stepped before the cameras. She looked calm and determined. My fellow humans, President Kim began. For 72 hours we have appeared weak and frightened. The galaxy has watched us cower before, alien threats. Today, the galaxy learns the truth about humanity. On alien ships throughout the fleet, translation computers converted her words. Calthran officers listened with amusement. Another broken leader making final speeches before surrender. 50 years ago, we received our first evidence that we were not alone in the universe. President Kim continued. We could have ignored it. We could have hoped that peaceful contact would come someday. Instead, we prepared for war. The amusement on alien faces began to fade. For 5 decades, we have built in secret. We have trained in silence. We have prepared for this exact moment. The galaxy believes Earth is defenseless. The galaxy is wrong. Emperor Vextar leaned forward on his crystal throne. Something in the human leader's voice was different. Where was the fear? Where was the desperation? You ordered our surrender, President Kim said, looking directly into the camera. We have an answer for you. She paused for a moment that seemed to last forever. No. The single word echoed across every human communication system. In homes and cities around the world, people held their breath. You have gravely underestimated humanity, President Kim continued. We do not kneel. We do not surrender. We do not submit. And we do not forgive threats against our home. On the alien flagship, alarms began to sound. Sensor operators stared at their displays in confusion and growing fear. Emperor, one of them called out. We're detecting massive energy signatures throughout the system. What kind of energy signatures? Vextar demanded. Unknown technology. The readings are impossible. Space around Earth suddenly filled with light. One by one, human warships decloaked from their hiding places. First dozens, then hundreds, then a full 1,000 vessels revealed themselves. The ships were beautiful and terrible. Their hulls gleamed with advanced alloys. Their engines burned like captured stars. Their weapons bristled with deadly purpose. Each ship looked like it had been designed by angels and built by demons. Impossible, Captain Veltok whispered. Where did they come from? Everywhere, Emperor Vexatar replied, his crystal body flickering between colors as shock and fear warred within him. Admiral Nam smiled as his fleet completed its reveal. The look of terror on alien faces made 50 years of preparation worthwhile. All ships, he broadcast. This is Admiral Nam. Execute Operation Prometheus. Show them what humans can do. The human fleet moved like a living thing. Destroyers led the charge, their quantum drives leaving trails of blue fire. Behind them came the cruisers and battleships, weapons charging with deadly light. Fighter squadrons swarmed out of hidden carriers like angry hornets. Captain Lim's destroyers reached the alien fleet first. His ships were so fast that Calthran gunners couldn't track them. Quantum torpedoes streaked through space, each one guided by artificial intelligence smarter than any alien computer. The first torpedo hit a Calthran dreadnought in its crystal core. The weapon's quantum field propagated through the ship's crystal matrix like cracks racing through ice. The massive vessel, 10 miles long and supposedly invincible, shattered into 1,000,000 glittering pieces. Direct hit, reported Tactical Officer Soo-Jin Park from her station on the Defiance. Enemy vessel destroyed. Quantum cascade working perfectly. More torpedoes found their targets. Alien ships that had conquered hundreds of worlds exploded in spectacular displays of broken crystal and released energy. Each death was a fireworks celebration of human ingenuity and determination. Emperor Vextar watched his fleet die with growing horror. How are they doing this? Our ships are invincible! Not against quantum weaponry, Captain Wu Jin-hong said over open communications as his torpedo boats emerged from the asteroid belt. You built everything out of crystal. We built weapons specifically to shatter crystal. Bad choice. The Calthran fleet tried to fight back, but their massive ships were too slow and clumsy for human tactics. Their weapons, designed to destroy planets, couldn't hit targets moving at impossible speeds. Their shields, meant to stop conventional weapons, were useless against quantum technology. Commander Shin's fighters darted between alien ships like deadly insects. They fired precision shots at sensor arrays, communication dishes, and weapon systems. Where they struck, alien technology failed and died. This is impossible, Veltok broadcast to his fleet. They're just primitives. They shouldn't have this technology. Primitives don't build 1,000-ship fleets, Admiral Nam replied calmly. Primitives don't develop quantum weapons. Primitives don't plan 50-year strategies. You mistook caution for weakness. You mistook preparation for fear. Fatal errors. Another wave of quantum torpedoes swept through the alien formation. More crystal ships died in showers of sparkling destruction. The Calthran Empire's finest fleet was being systematically dismantled by an enemy that shouldn't exist. All ships, Emperor Vextar ordered desperately. "Retreat! Full retreat!" But there was nowhere to run. Human ships surrounded them on all sides. Fast destroyers cut off escape routes. Battleships blocked the major hyperspace routes. The trap was perfect and complete. "You came here to conquer," President Kim's voice continued over all frequencies. "You threatened our families. You promised to destroy our world. This is what happens when you threaten humanity. This is what happens when you underestimate us." The galaxy was watching. On 1,000 worlds, alien species saw the impossible. The mighty Kalthran Empire was being destroyed by a species they had never heard of. The balance of power was shifting before their eyes. Earth's children had grown up, and they were stronger than anyone had imagined. The battle was no longer a battle. It had become a hunt. Admiral Sungjun Nam watched from the Defiance as his fleet systematically destroyed the alien invasion force. What had been 200 mighty Kalthran dreadnoughts was now scattered debris, floating in Earth's orbital space. "Status report," Admiral Nam requested. 60% of enemy fleet destroyed, reported Communications Officer Ji-hoon Bae. "Remaining ships attempting to retreat. Our forces are pursuing." "Let them run," Admiral Nam decided, "but not too far. We want survivors to carry our message back to their empire." The human fleet moved with deadly precision. Each ship knew its role. Each captain executed their part of a plan that had been refined over decades. The aliens had expected an easy conquest. Instead, they found themselves trapped by predators who had turned warfare into an art form. Captain Dong-hyun Lim's destroyer squadron chased fleeing Kalthran ships through the outer system. His vessels were so much faster than the enemy that catching them was almost too easy. "Target the engines," Lim ordered his gunners. "Disable them. Don't destroy them completely. We want them alive to tell their story." Quantum torpedoes, set to minimum power, struck the crystal drive systems of fleeing alien ships. The weapons didn't shatter the vessels completely, but they left them crippled and drifting. Perfect prisoners to carry news of humanity's power. Emperor Vextar's flagship tried to escape toward the outer planets, but Captain Wu Jin Hong's torpedo boats were waiting. They had positioned themselves perfectly, using gravity wells and planetary shadows to remain hidden until the last moment. "This is Captain Hong," he broadcast to the Emperor's ship. "You have two choices. Surrender now, or join your ships in the debris field. Choose quickly." On the alien flagship, panic filled the crystal corridors. Kalthran officers who had conquered hundreds of worlds now faced their first real defeat. Their invincible empire was crumbling around them. "Emperor," Captain Veltak reported, his crystal body flickering with fear. "We've lost contact with most of our fleet. Long-range sensors show massive debris fields. The humans they're hunting us." Emperor Vextar's own crystal form had turned deep purple, the color of Kalthran terror. In 1,000 years of conquest, he had never faced an enemy like this. Humans fought with a cold precision that terrified him more than any berserker rage. "How are they so advanced?" Vextar demanded. "Our intelligence said they were primitives." "Our intelligence was wrong," Veltak replied. "They've been planning this for decades, maybe longer. Every move we made, they were ready for it. Commander." Yoon Shin led her fighter squadrons in precision strikes against the Emperor's ship. Her pilots were artists of destruction, hitting exactly what they aimed for. They disabled weapons without damaging life support. They knocked out shields without breaching the hull. "Target their communication array," Shin ordered. "I want them isolated but alive." The fighters swarmed over the massive alien ship like wasps attacking a giant. Each strike was calculated to cause maximum psychological impact with minimum actual damage. The aliens needed to survive to tell their empire what had happened here. Back on Earth, President Da-eun Kim continued her broadcast to the galaxy. Her words were being transmitted to every corner of known space, carried by alien communication networks that the humans had quietly infiltrated years ago. "For too long," President Kim said, "civilizations have expanded through fear and conquest. Stronger races have enslaved weaker ones. Might has made right. Today that changes." On distant worlds, alien leaders watched with growing amazement and concern. The mighty Kalthran Empire, conquerors of 400 planets, was being destroyed by a species no one had heard of until 3 days ago. "We offer the galaxy a different path. President Kim continued. Come to Earth in peace, and you will find friends eager to trade, to learn, to grow together. Come with threats and conquest in your hearts, and you will find something else entirely. Admiral Kyung-ho Park stood beside the president, watching displays that showed the battle's progress. Human casualties were almost zero. Alien losses were catastrophic. It was the most one-sided victory in galactic history. How long until the galaxy gets the message? President Kim asked. It's already spreading, Admiral Park replied. Every alien communication network is carrying our broadcast. By tomorrow, every civilization in known space will know what happened here. The human fleet had divided into hunting groups. Each group pursued different clusters of fleeing aliens. The strategy was simple. Destroy enough ships to prove human power, but leave enough survivors to spread fear throughout the Empire. Fleet Admiral Yoon-seok Jang commanded the pursuit of the largest alien group. His battleships moved through space like massive sharks, their quantum weapons charged and ready. Alien vessels, Jang broadcast. You are surrounded. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. Comply immediately or be destroyed. The alien ships had no choice. Their weapons were useless against human shields. Their speed was pathetic compared to human engines. Their tactics were primitive compared to human strategy. One by one, Calthrin ships powered down and surrendered. Their crews sat in shock, unable to understand how their mighty empire could be defeated so easily. On the Emperor's flagship, desperation had replaced arrogance. Vextar paced his crystal throne room while his officers tried to find some way to escape or fight back. Send a message to the Empire, Vextar ordered. Tell them Earth is more dangerous than we thought. What should we tell them about the human fleet? Veltak asked. Tell them everything. Tell them these humans have been preparing for war for 50 years. Tell them our crystal technology is worthless against their quantum weapons. Tell them we were completely outmatched. The message was sent on tight beam communication toward Calthrin space. It would take months to arrive, but when it did, it would change how the Empire viewed humanity forever. Dr. Hae-won Choi watched the battle from Earth's command center. Project Prometheus, her life's work, was performing even better than she had hoped. 50 years of secret research and development had paid off perfectly. Quantum cascade efficiency is at 97%, she reported to Admiral Park. Our weapons are performing exactly as designed. The aliens' crystal technology makes them incredibly vulnerable to quantum disruption. Any surprises? Admiral Park asked. Only that they were easier to defeat than we expected. They've relied on intimidation and overwhelming force for so long that they never learned to fight a real war. Throughout the solar system, human ships continued their systematic destruction of the alien fleet. But this wasn't random violence or revenge. Every action was calculated to send a specific message to the galaxy. Captain So Young-an commanded a cruiser squadron that was documenting everything. Her ships recorded the battle from every angle, creating a complete record of humanity's military capabilities. Make sure every alien ship we capture gets a full copy of these recordings, Anna ordered her crew. When they return to their empire, we want them to show exactly what happened here. The psychological warfare was as important as the actual fighting. Humanity needed the galaxy to understand that Earth was not a victim to be conquered, but a power to be respected. Emperor Vextar's flagship was the last major alien vessel still fighting. Surrounded by human ships, damaged but not destroyed, it represented the end of Calthrin arrogance. This is Admiral Nam, came the broadcast from the Defiance. Emperor Vextar, you came here expecting easy conquest. You found something else. Will you surrender now? Or shall we finish what you started? Vextar looked around his damaged throne room. Half his crew was injured. His weapons were offline. His shields were failing. His mighty empire's greatest fleet had been destroyed by creatures he had underestimated completely. We surrender, he said quietly. Louder, Admiral Nam commanded. Say it so the galaxy can hear. I, Emperor Vextar of the Calthrin Empire, surrender to the forces of Earth, Vextar announced. His crystal body had turned the gray color of defeat. We yield to humanity's superior power. The words echoed across space, carried by communication networks to every corner of the galaxy. The Calthran Empire had surrendered to Earth. The balance of power had shifted forever. But humanity wasn't finished yet. The galaxy needed to understand that this victory wasn't luck or accident. It was the result of careful planning, superior technology, and unbreakable human determination. The hunt was over. Now came the demonstration of what Earth could really do when threatened. 3 weeks after the battle, the galaxy was still talking about Earth. Admiral Kyung-Ho Park stood on the observation deck of the Defiance, watching as alien diplomats arrived at the newly constructed orbital station above Earth. Ships from dozens of civilizations had come to meet the humans who had shattered the Calthran Empire in a single day. "Status report on the prisoners?" Admiral Park asked. "All Calthran survivors have been treated and prepared for release," reported Captain Jinwoo Song. "Emperor Vextar and his senior officers are ready to return to their empire. They carry full documentation of our capabilities." "And our message?" "Crystal clear, sir. Attack Earth and face total destruction. Come in peace and find friends." The strategy had worked perfectly. By allowing most of the alien fleet to escape, humanity had ensured that news of their power spread quickly throughout the galaxy. The few ships that had been completely destroyed served as examples of what happened to those who threatened Earth. President Da-Un Kim was in her new office aboard the orbital station. Through her window, she could see ships from the Zentari, Federation, the Mokrani Coalition, and dozens of other civilizations. All of them wanted to establish diplomatic relations with humanity. "The Galactic Council has requested a formal meeting," her aide reported. "They want to offer Earth membership." President Kim smiled. "Interesting. 3 weeks ago, they didn't know we existed. Now they want us as members." "Power changes everything," observed Dr. Haewon Choi, who had joined them for the meeting. "The galaxy respects strength. We've proven we have it." On the bridge of the Defiance, Admiral Sungjun Nam reviewed reports from across human space. The secret fleet had revealed itself, but Earth's military preparations were far from over. "Construction status on the new shipyards?" Admiral Nam asked. "Ahead of schedule," replied Min Jung Kwon, now promoted to Chief of Naval Engineering. "We'll have 50 new warships completed within 6 months. The quantum torpedo production line is running at full capacity." "Excellent. We may have won this battle, but the galaxy is a dangerous place. We need to stay strong." Throughout the solar system, human civilization was transforming. The secret was out. Earth was a major galactic power, and everyone wanted to know how. It had happened. Captain Dong Hyun Lim commanded the first human diplomatic mission to the Zentari Federation. His ship, the Harmony's Promise, carried ambassadors and trade representatives to former enemies who now sought alliance. "The Zentari government has agreed to all our terms," Lim reported to Earth. "Technology sharing, mutual defense, and joint exploration missions. They're very eager to cooperate." "Everyone's eager to cooperate now," replied Communications Officer Ji-hoon Bae from Earth. Amazing what destroying an empire in one day does for diplomatic relations. The Mokrani Coalition had similar proposals. So did the Pelorian Republic. Civilizations that had been conquered by the Calthrons were especially interested in human military technology and tactical expertise. Captain Woo Jin Hong led the first human expedition beyond the local galactic region. His exploration fleet of 50 ships would map new territories and make contact with distant civilizations. Each ship carried quantum weapons and enough firepower to handle any threats. "Remember," Admiral Park had told Hong before departure, "we explore in peace, but we're ready for war. The galaxy needs to understand that humans go wherever we choose to go." On distant Calthran Prime, the Empire was in chaos. Emperor Vextar had returned with news that shattered their understanding of galactic power. A primitive world had destroyed, their finest fleet using impossible technology. "How did they advance so quickly?" demanded the High Council of Crystals. "They didn't advance quickly," Vextar replied, his crystal body still gray with remembered defeat. "They've been advanced for decades, maybe centuries. They let us think they were weak while they prepared for war. What are your recommendations?" "Avoid human space completely. Never threaten Earth. If we must interact with them, approach with respect and caution. They are not the primitives we thought." The Emperor's words were broadcast throughout the Calthran Empire. 400 conquered worlds heard the message. Humanity was not to be threatened or attacked under any circumstances. Back at Earth, the first Galactic Council meeting was beginning. Captain So Young-an had been chosen to represent humanity at the Council's headquarters on the neutral world of Nexus Prime. The Galactic Council recognizes the sovereign rights of Earth and her colonies, announced the Council President, a tall insectoid being from the Hive worlds. We invite humanity to join our organization as a full member with all rights and privileges. We accept, Captain An replied, with conditions. The council chamber went silent. New members usually accepted gratefully. Humans were already making demands. What conditions? The president asked. First, human space is completely autonomous. No council laws apply within our territory without our agreement. Second, we reserve the right to defend ourselves and our allies by any means necessary. Third, any civilization that threatens Earth or human colonies will face immediate retaliation. These are unusual demands. We're an unusual species, Captain An replied calmly. You can accept our terms, or we can remain independent. Either way, we'll continue to grow stronger. The Council voted unanimously to accept human conditions. Nobody wanted to risk conflict with the species that had destroyed the Kalthran Empire. Commander Yoon-jae Shin now commanded the first human naval academy in space. Young officers from across human territory came to learn the tactics and strategies that had defeated the aliens. Lesson 1, she told her students, never underestimate your enemy, but more importantly, never let your enemy know your true capabilities until you're ready to use them. How long did humanity prepare for the Kalthran invasion? Asked a young cadet. 50 years of active preparation, but really, we've been preparing since the first human looked at the stars and wondered what was out there. When we found out the galaxy was dangerous, we got ready for danger. The first human colonies beyond Earth were being established. Worlds that had been abandoned after Kalthran conquest were now being resettled under human protection. The Quantum Fleet patrolled the space lanes, ensuring safe passage for all peaceful travelers. Dr. Hae-won Choi had been promoted to head of the new Department of Galactic Technology. Her mission was to stay ahead of any potential threats while sharing beneficial technology with allied civilizations. The quantum cascade principle has applications beyond weapons, she explained to President Kim. We can use it for faster-than-light communication, improved space drives, even medical applications. How far ahead of the galaxy are we? In military technology, about 50 years. In some other areas, maybe a century. But we can't get comfortable. The galaxy is big, and there might be civilizations out there even more advanced than us. 1 year after the battle, Earth celebrated the first annual Liberation Day. The holiday commemorated humanity's emergence as a galactic power and the end of Kalthran domination. Admiral Kyung-ho Park gave the ceremonial address from the steps of the new Global Capitol building in Geneva. 1 year ago, the galaxy saw us as primitives ripe for conquest, Admiral Park said to the assembled crowd and galactic audience. Today, we are partners, protectors, and explorers. We've shown that strength comes not from the desire to dominate, but from the will to defend what we value. The celebration was broadcast to every human colony and allied world. It was also transmitted to Kalthran space, a reminder of what happened to those who threatened humanity. Emperor Vextar, now ruling, a much smaller and humbler empire, watched the broadcast from his crystal palace. The sight of human ships patrolling space that had once belonged to his empire filled him with a mixture of fear and grudging respect. Perhaps, he admitted to his advisors, there are worse fates than serving under humans rather than fighting them. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Earth was not a world to be conquered. Humanity was not a species to be underestimated. The balance of power had shifted permanently, and everyone understood the new reality. President Da-eun Kim ended her speech with words that echoed across the galaxy. To those who come in peace, we offer our hand in friendship. To those who would threaten what we hold dear, we offer this reminder. The Kalthran Empire thought they were invincible. They ordered Earth's surrender. We gave them warships instead. Choose your approach to humanity carefully. In the years that followed, the galaxy would remember those words. The age of easy conquest was over. Humanity had seen to that, and in the vast darkness of space, human ships continued to patrol, carrying the message that some things were worth fighting for, and some species were not as helpless as they appeared. The humans of Earth had written their names in the stars, not with conquest, but with the courage to defend their home and the wisdom to know when that defense was necessary. The galaxy was a safer place because of it. And on distant worlds, when young aliens looked up at the night sky and dreamed of the stars, they now knew that somewhere out there, humanity was watching, ready to protect those who could not protect themselves. The Galactic Empire had ordered Earth's surrender. Humanity had deployed warships instead, and the galaxy would never be the same.